does that mean?
It's bad luck.
Look at that.
Why are you...
I wanted to start out this video revisiting my why, revisiting my goals, and revisiting my plan. Good morning, everybody. I'm not sure if I've actually said hello today. Cam is driving us to pizza. We're taking an unexpected zero because yesterday I think I had heat exhaustion, which I've been thinking about it, and it might be because of my new shirt. Like the Patagonia one that I bought in South Lake Tahoe doesn't actually have any UPF. And I was like, I've been, in hotter weather in the desert. I don't know why I would get heat exhaustion all of a sudden. So that could be the reason. Like I have a tan line from my bra to my stomach, which I haven't had that at all because the Arc'teryx shirt that I have does have UPF. So I think that I just didn't have enough sun protection maybe in the shirt, even though it's really thin and breezy and I really like it. It's really comfortable, but I'm probably gonna switch back to my white one. Well, that happened, and then today I accidentally slept in till 9. I think it's just been like building up, like it's been like pulling teeth every time going back to trail, or it just feels like I'm tired, and then I'm like, okay, well, I took that 00 last week almost, or 2 weeks ago maybe, and then had another 0 I think, and so they're kind of building up, and it's still just kind of like I've been feeling exhausted, I guess, and worried about, making the miles and being able to do this whole thing. And emotionally, I think I'm not like going into this whole thing, I have not wanted to traumatize my body in any way. Like I think a lot of ultra runners, and extreme athletes push themselves so hard that they're, puking and like all these like really like making themselves sick and going through trauma. And it's like, I feel like I've had traumatic moments outside that happen mostly because of the weather. Or just like forcing myself to make miles for too long, or I don't know. And so I haven't really wanted to do that, on this calendar year Triple Crown attempt. I've wanted to be able to follow my intuition and put in the miles, put in the commitment, and make it. And now I'm just, I think, burnt out, honestly. Like it just feels like I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm not getting enough time, and then I'm emotionally like hard on myself about it, and like wanting to be like, okay, now it's time to put in those 33-mile days, just do it, you can do it. And yeah, I can do it, I think, but then it's just when I have the opportunity to go into town, I really need that rest and that, and I think my body is holding up well, but just like emotionally, I've been choosing to take it a little bit easier. And so, yeah, I think my goals might be shifting a little bit. There are some semi-exciting things on the horizon, so I will talk to you more about that later because we just got to the pizza place and it's time to go in and get some pizza. I will say earlier today, the other thing that happened is that after the coffee shop, I got really sick. Like my stomach, like I had a food sensitivity stomach ache, which when I have those, it's like 4 hours until it goes away. So
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I had a really bad stomach ache, and I used to get them all the time when I was like a little bit more stressed out in life in general. But I haven't had one in years, and so I think I'm like more sensitive to food right now. Also, I've been destroying my stomach with all these terrible like honey buns.
I'm trying to get you different things.
Yeah. So I had a really bad stomach ache, but I'm feeling better. Took another shower. Now we're gonna go get pizza, and I'll share more about upcoming plans soon. Look what we found. Okay, everyone. So, since lunch, we ate at the Mexican food restaurant. It was delicious. We've done a lot of relaxing and a lot of planning. Yes. So, right now we are going to film a video that's going to be for today or yesterday. I'm not quite sure how the editing will line up, but I want to film at least one, but maybe two videos. One video that's talking about the plans for the calendar year Triple Crown and my miles and what's going on and the big change that's coming up soon. So if you already watched that, thank you for tuning in there. If you haven't watched it, then go check that out. Then I also want to film a video about my stats with my Coros app and my Coros watch, because a lot of you ask about that. I get a lot of DMs asking which watch do I have. So I think that like diving into some stuff about my watch, but then also about the stats and where I'm at, they're kind of like tied together, these video ideas. So we are driving now to look for a good spot to film, because in the little motel room, it's not super aesthetic, but ooh, there's some trees and a nice bench.
Yeah, I was wondering about this
little
area.
neighborhood.
Walk around here.
Yeah, we'll take you with us. Exactly, but
No.
look at this huge tree. Huge. We parked over there, but then there was a really loud AC unit outside this big, huge building. So now we're walking over here to see if there's anything quiet. Someone is setting up my tripod for me. We found a random place for me to sit. Hi.
Hi.
Good? I wanted to start out this video revisiting my why, revisiting my goals, and revisiting my plan. So let's get into it. Originally, when I planned this calendar year Triple Crown attempt, my main goals were to try to accomplish something that I found incredibly amazing. I had like many moments of synchronicity around meeting people who were on their attempt of a calendar year Triple Crown, and I have always thought they were crazy, but then in the past few years I've also found them very, very captivating. And the idea of accomplishing all 3 trails in 1 year was like amazing. It's a little hot, so it's sweating. But yeah, I was like captivated by them, and I wanted the opportunity to see how far my body could go, to try to commit to 30 miles a day every day, commit to hiking all day every day all year, and see if my body can handle it. I've always found through hiking to be the most intriguing when I'm hiking as many miles a day as I can. On the Appalachian Trail in 2023, I finished that in 4 months. The PCT I finished in 5 months basically, but close to 4.5. And the CDT, I've done about half of that, and that was done in chunks. But I think I did the first 650 miles through New Mexico in like 35 days. So not too far off from kind of the miles that are necessary to accomplish a calendar year Triple Crown. I also really wanted to, connect to my innermost self, to others, and to captivating beauty, which is like synonymous for nature. Those are like my pillars of experience that I really value and that I always want to be cultivating and growing and leaning into, and I think through hiking really helps me do those things. So yeah, I like did all this research and I planned, and I like have a close friend now who has hiked all 3 trails in 1 year, and he was like giving me advice and kind of like coaching me through this. And my plan from the very beginning was like, okay, maybe I can hike all three, like give 3 months for each trail. Now, the Appalachian Trail is like, has the lowest amount of miles, but it's still really challenging. So I still wanted to give it a full 3 months. And then each trail would have about like a week to spare. So I didn't want to start on January 1st, not because I wasn't serious about accomplishing a calendar year Triple Crown, but because most people who start in January or February are in snow all year round. Like they're just following the snow. And I thought I would rather try to go faster rather than try to endure the snow, which is really, really challenging for me. Doable, but it slows you down and it's challenging. And I was like, well, I'll start mid-February. Then mid-February came and I got really sick for a week and a half. And then I got on trail March 1st and I was still, you can still hear the frog in my throat because I was getting better. I wanted to start out this video revisiting my why, revisiting my goals, and revisiting my plan. So those are those three things. Like those were my original goals, my original plan, my original why. I think on the AT, I really got to feel what it felt like to do as many miles a day as I could while still going into town, resupplying, getting my videos uploaded, making the thumbnails and all of that, but really taking as little time completely off as possible. I think the farther I got into the AT, the more days off that I had. And then I ran into some logistical challenges as the weather rolled in New Hampshire when I was on the AT. And so that really slowed me down for about a week before I flipped. So yeah, I think another thing I wanted to mention is that like I think less than 20 people, around 20 people have ever accomplished this, and only 2 women. And I kind of felt like I was at the forefront of more and more women attempting this and accomplishing it. And so that felt really powerful and really exciting. But there's so few people that have done it for a reason. And I also kind of think that there's just been this tension between, I want to push myself and find my limit, but I also don't want to like traumatize my body or get injured or ride the line of like always being like very, very like sick or making myself sick, you know, from pushing too hard. So I was trying to find the tension between feeling good all the time at also the highest limit of miles I could do. But yeah, I think that as I've progressed, I've been a little bit more lax about days off, a little bit more accepting of days off, a little bit more accepting of low mileage days. And I don't know if that was because it felt like, oh, I have so many days ahead of me to make this up, or if that was just because I was just agreeing with my internal compass that says you need more rest. So my miles have been decreasing, especially now. Like, I mean, they decreased in the Sierra, and I was really hoping to pick those miles up once I was out of the High Sierra. Now I'm in the Northern California map, and I'm still at high elevation, still, you know, gaining and losing elevation a lot, and just kind of not able to stay as consistent with those big mile days as I had hoped. I keep finding myself like wanting to sleep in when I'm in town, having it harder and harder to get myself back on trail just because I'm so mentally and emotionally fatigued, because like any time in town has been spent like uploading videos, making thumbnails, sleeping, eating, you know, there hasn't been I mean, by now I've had quite a few days of like true pure rest, but before this there really wasn't, and it's just been accumulating in my body. And like most days my rule has been, if I get 6 hours of sleep, that's enough. And I think that that's been building up to, that's just not enough. I think I need more rest, and logistically it's hard to get that rest and resupply and keep the miles going and make all the plans and do all the things. So yeah, what I've been finding that over time my miles have been decreasing. And my mental, emotional fatigue has been increasing. Now my body is doing really, really well. Like, I think I have a little bit of foot pain. There's some plantar fascia foot pain, but overall, like, my knees aren't swelling. I'm so happy about that. They were swelling a little bit on the AT, so we'll see how they fare the rest of this year, but I'm really happy that my body has pretty much agreed with what I'm doing. It said, okay, like, we're gonna hike all day, every day, and that's gonna be the thing, even if that has included days off or half days. So I'm really happy about that. And so as like the goal of accomplishing the calendar year Triple Crown has begun to slip away, I wanted to be upfront with you guys and just talk this out, where it's just kind of like, I think if I keep pushing myself to have those big mile days and then not doing it, like it brings a lot of sadness, anxiety, stress, and so like I'm enjoying like this hike a lot less. I'm like not enjoying the beautiful views because I'm not doing enough. Even if I'm having a 33-mile day, it doesn't feel as impactful as it would if I had 33 miles a day for the past 10 days, you know, like I haven't had that. So I think that, yeah, I want to be realistic. I want to be upfront, and I want to refocus on how can I enjoy this year, because that was also part of it, right? Like, there's a deep fulfillment I have from being out in nature, from connecting with the beauty when I'm hiking, even if my mind is having a hard time, even if I'm exhausted. There's something that my spirit is enjoying. My spirit is alive and getting to feel the beauty of nature and connect and like commune with it, like even if my mind isn't necessarily there, and then I feel those effects later, or like, I don't know, it's just like this interesting relationship that I have that I've always valued, especially through hiking. And so as I'm like, okay, maybe the calendar year Triple Crown really isn't likely, because I don't know if I am really dialed in to wanting to push that hard for the rest of this year, because as I've taken more days off, the miles I need per day have been increasing quite a bit. So, so let's look at the miles really quick so you can kind of have a better understanding of like exactly what I mean when I say they're slipping away, and what was it before, what is it now. So on the Appalachian Trail, there's 2,200 miles roughly. On the PCT, including the hike back from Canada, because you have to hike to the border and then back to the closest road crossing because you can't cross into Canada anymore, there's 2,680, so 2,680 miles on the PCT, and the shortest distance roughly on the CDT is 2,700 miles without having to do like only road walking. So that total is 7,580, and as of today, which is July 13th, I have roughly 3,100 miles that I have accomplished on the on the Pacific Crest Trail. Oh wait, on the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail together. So that's incredible. I feel really happy about that. That's the most I've done in 4.5 months ever, and it's the most I've done consecutively ever. So that feels really good. But that leaves 4,480 miles left. If we look at just the PCT, I needed 30 miles a day to finish in 3 months. And my original goal was to give 3 months for each trail. 3 months to the AT, 3 months to the PCT, 3 months to the CDT, and then have about a week of leeway of like, okay, pushing really hard for those 90 days, but I have 7 extra days if that doesn't go according to plan. I was really close to that on the AT, honestly. Like, it didn't feel too far out of reach. Like, maybe I probably would have finished within 100 days if that snowstorm didn't hit and I didn't jump. And that 100 days is pretty close to 97 days, which is like 3 months and a week. I just bring that up to say that now, like, it was 30 miles a day to finish the PCT, and now it's like 36 miles a day. So that is just really, really unlikely, you know, like even if I get close to that, then I get close to that on the AT, then I get close to that on the CDT, like it would just be a lot. And I don't know if I don't know if it's realistic. I don't think it's what I want anymore to try to push myself for those big mile days, especially if it's not really gonna pan out. So then like if I just reorient a little bit and kind of be kind to myself and say like, you know, I went after something that I was unsure if I could do, and I did give it like 100%, you know, like I didn't go into it thinking like just being casual about it. Like if you watch my AT, like the AT days, I really think you'll see that I really pushed myself so many days in a row and I really tried. Slowly I found myself choosing rest over consistent days of pushing. I wrote that down. And I've hiked 3,100 miles in just over 4 months, the farthest I've ever done in one push. And that has brought my total through hiking miles, including my sections, to 10,000 miles. So over 10,000 miles pretty much of through hiking, of nights outside, nights inside, like hiking through the mountains, experiencing beautiful landscapes. And I'm so, so, so thankful for all of those miles. And I think as a big reflection on the calendar year Triple Crown so far, I think you guys have seen me make like a lot of my videos where I'm really exhausted. I'm not that vibrant. I'm not that like ecstatic. You know, I am hiking through exhaustion, and that I think is clear on a lot of days. You know, I always want to be uplifting and uplifted, but I think that like there have been a lot of days where I've been exhausted. But I think overall I've still felt more content on this through hike than I have on any other through hike. You know, I've been more dialed into just, this is what I'm doing. I'm not looking too far ahead into the future. I'm not trying to like finish so I can be done. I mean, I think that feeling has washed over me a bit more lately as the accomplishing the goal has become more and more out of reach, as I've become more exhausted, as I've had more days where I just really want to rest and take a zero. And then that means it's even more unlikely to, you know, like finish this whole 3 trails in 1 year. So I am really proud of myself that I've kept my body strong and healthy. Like I've done a lot of self-massage and listening to my intuition and taking the breaks. Like I haven't, you know, brought my body to the edge of not being okay. Like I am okay and I get to keep going, and I'm really, really happy about that. Because even on the PCT, my first time, like I had really bad plantar fasciitis the whole trail, and I was like hiking through pain every single day, and then I wasn't healed from it for like 3 months. I was hobbling and in pain until like well after I had finished the PCT the first time. So I'm really happy that even though I've hiked way more miles than I ever have in a short amount of time, I'm also way stronger than I have ever been. Like I've been taking good care of my body, and that feels really good. So I really want to love it out here. So it's time to shift my goals and, like I said, be upfront with what I'm striving for moving forward. Like I said, first of all, I'm not giving up on hiking this year. I still want to be out here. I still want to be through hiking. I really, really want to finish the Pacific Crest Trail for a second time and get to experience Washington, Oregon, and the rest of Northern California again. And then I also still really want to finish the AT. I'm so close to being done with that for a second time, and I would just hate to leave that undone. And both of these trails, you know, like I'm almost halfway on the PCT, and it just seems silly to not finish out the summer. It's July 13th today, so there's still so much of the hiking season left, and I really want to be out here. So all that being said, I do want to give my body more rest, more time to slow down and more time to like jump into water, you know, and lakes and rivers, and get that like refreshing like zest that I feel outside when I take time to do those things that have those more of those beautiful moments. So I'm really hoping to continue to hike and finish the PCT and the AT this year. And I think, you know, if emotionally I'm still feeling up for it, if I still have time, I would really like to hit those miles on the CDT that I haven't hiked yet. I have about 1,000 miles left on that trail that I haven't hiked. So I've hiked 200 miles from Montana, like in Montana, the Glacier National Park, Bob Marshall Wilderness. I've hiked 150 miles from the Wyoming-Colorado border south. Then there's a big gap I haven't hiked in Colorado. And then I've hiked from Monarch Pass in Colorado south all the way to the Mexican border. So that all adds up to about 1,700, I think, and about 1,000 miles left to go. So I'm hoping that after I finish the PCT and the AT, I can at least tag those. Then I would have accomplished my Triple Crown, not in a calendar year, but at least, you know, overall in the CDT in sections, which I have always been a huge proponent of hiking in sections because it's a beautiful way to experience a long distance hike, even if it's not all in one go. So yeah, I think that like on this timeline, I'd be likely to finish the PCT mid-September. Like if I keep my average, the average that I've had for the PCT so far, if that can continue, I think it's only like 24 and a half. For even though I've been hiking, you know, 30s when I'm hiking, the amount of days off I've had has brought my average down to 24 and a half. So if I can keep that average, I will probably finish mid-September, and then I would hop to the AT, finish the AT in probably 3 weeks. It's just 350 miles, so I'd give myself time. It's a really challenging section, and who knows what the weather will be like. So I think 3 weeks is a fair amount of time to say I would accomplish that section. And then that would put me in like September, October, mid to early October to jump to the CDT and see how many miles I can knock out there. And yeah, I think that this all, it feels good because part of me really has wanted to just like throw in the towel, in the sense of being really exhausted and like having days where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to keep going. I'm so hot. Like, like this is hard. I just have to do it. And then just letting that mindset take over how much I enjoy being out there, even when it is hard. So I think I don't want that to happen, you know, and we all have to kind of revisit our own mindset and revisit like when the negative thoughts and negative perspective and ungratefulness kind of chime in and then are louder than the gratefulness and the joy. Because I don't want my joy to be so circumstantial. So yeah, I think that I'm excited to shake things up. I'm excited that I kind of have come up with a new plan. And I really do want to say that I never intended like the calendar year Triple Crown attempt to be some sort of gimmick or like show for like a little bit of limelight, where I never really thought that I could do it, but I just wanted attention. Like I think I will probably get a lot of that in the comments, or a whole lot of people that are like, I knew she would never do it. I knew she couldn't do it. This is obvious. Like, there might be a lot of that, but honestly, like, from my perspective, it felt like something I wanted to try to see if I could do. And I don't think that those people know how much I've pushed through and persevered and overcome in the outdoor space, and like all of the vast experiences that, like, I mean, I haven't even captured on these videos, that kind of tell me that, like, oh yeah, if other people can do that, so can you. And so I don't feel like, well, I couldn't do it even though they could. I think it was more of like a choice of leaning into, well, I kind of want to prioritize rest right now. I kind of want to lean into, like, maybe I can't do it right now, or I don't know. I just don't really feel like I can't do it doesn't really ring true. It just kind of is like, I didn't do it, I guess, you know? I kept saying yes to things that made it so I didn't say yes to accomplishing the thing, and I think that that is okay right now, because I did, you know, I tried. I don't know, I guess that's all kind of all over the place. But yeah, I am genuinely in awe of those who have accomplished a calendar year Triple Crown. I will still always be amazed at them, and I'm amazed at myself for trying, but I'm just saying I value that in myself, that I tried something I wasn't sure that I could do, and I put it out there, and I put myself out there, and that feels really good. And yeah, I also wrote down that I want to thank you all for coming along. I hope you'll stay with me this year as I continue hiking through these diverse and beautiful landscapes. And for those of you who made it through this very long video, ooh, 30 minutes, I want to let you know that as part of this shakeup, I am going to flip to Washington, and I'm going to hike south. So Cam and I are going to drive from here to the Canadian border tomorrow, and then he's gonna hike in with me, and we're gonna hike to the Canadian border, and then I'm gonna hike south, and I'll end at Quincy. I think that getting up to Washington, where it's not gonna be so hot right now, will really help me. I had heat exhaustion 2 days ago, where I was really nauseous and really fatigued, and I think that prompted yesterday's zero, and today's zero was prompted by just really wanting more rest, and then also wanting to stay at a road that will be easy to hitch out of when I get back here. I'm excited to be up in the Pacific Northwest. Cam/Leffy hasn't spent too much time up there, so it's going to be exciting to drive up there through Oregon and Washington, and then get to show him like a bunch of things. I mean, we're not taking too much time off to do this, you know, like I'm just hopefully going to be hiking not tomorrow but the day after that, and just be back on trail and kind of back to normal. But normal might include, you know, more zeros, more lake time to swim, and I don't know. I mean, I still want to do big miles because I like big miles. But yeah, I think that's really exciting, and that is everything for this video. So thanks for being with me in it. I hope that it wasn't too confusing. I know it wasn't too eloquent, but I think that it was genuine, and I just wanted to keep you guys up to date and fill you in on where I'm at. And I really look forward to hearing like from, you know, you guys who have been with me in it, who know me, who aren't trolls. I would love to hear from you in the comments and like hear what you think. I'm really sorry if I've disappointed you that I'm not going after the calendar year Triple Crown. I know so many of you have, you know, been my virtual trail angels and wanted to see me do all three this year. And I mean, if it is possible, then sure, maybe I could still do it. But I don't think so, because I think I'm just leaning into a more joyful time, a slower experience, and less pressure on like accomplishing a calendar year Triple Crown, and more pressure on loving these trails and loving the community and connecting with you guys. So thank you so much for watching and being with me. I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Success. I just filmed that like a 30-minute video and then a 15-minute video, so that was good. I do want to make better videos, but it just takes putting in the reps. So 2 reps. Hopefully those are helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed them.
I enjoyed them.
Cam enjoyed them.
I watched the whole thing.
It's true.
Multiple times.
He sat right behind me, right in behind the camera.
Yeah, I was like,
Not behind me.
I can't hide behind you.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so now we're driving through Quincy and we're going to do something, maybe.
Laundry.
Oh, laundry.
So
fun!
Oh, there's the club.
Wait. Hi. Laundry. Well, I forgot my glasses somewhere, so I put my headlamp on and we are off to the little park thing that we found earlier today where we filmed. Okay, this lighting is so bad. I'll explain this later. But yeah, we're trying to find my glasses at night. Oh, cat.
Great.
Black cat just crossed our path. What does that mean?
Bad luck.
Oh no. Oh yeah, we were over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Actually,
Actually, shining the light right here is good. Yeah. Still think my headlamp's a good idea. Okay, I filmed over here, but also over there. So let's look here first. Cam looks there. Oh, my headlamp is literally out of batteries. Oh wait, did he already find it? He might have, because I think I didn't even have them over here probably. They're probably over there. Oh my gosh. And I can't even put my headlamp on the brightest setting.
Did you find him?
Hey! Look at that. Look at that.
Why are you...
It's blinking because I'm out. I'm out of batteries. Yay! We found them and we got to see Cam as Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah. All right, back to the...
Okay, everybody, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you tune in tomorrow. And I also want to say a huge thank you to my virtual trail angels who are supporting me over on Venmo and all the trail angels that I've seen in person and who have reached out. All your friendly comments mean so much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.